Well, let's talk now to Paul Charles, the CEO of travel PR firm, the PC Agency. Good to see you again, Paul. Thank you for taking a moment out of clearly your trip, either to or from. I see you're in an airport somewhere. So let's talk about why China has chosen these particular countries for the latest visa exemption plans. What's behind it, do you think?
Well, I think it's certainly a sign that the opening up that China embarked on at the end of 2023 with other countries in Europe, like France, like Germany, for example, and offering visa-free travel appears to have worked, because otherwise China would not be embarking on widening this list as soon as possible. So by adding another 6 countries, including Ireland, Hungary, Belgium, and Switzerland, to that original list, is a sign of confidence. It's a sign that it's working. It's a sign that China is managing to attract more visitors from those countries. And of course, China itself wants to see those countries open up to Chinese visitors themselves.
So China's foreign minister said that part of the reason for the scheme was to boost foreign tourism to help China's economy recover. Does China's tourism industry have the power to do that?
I really believe it does. I mean, China is a force when it comes to tourism. It wants to get back to where it was pre-COVID, when it was starting to see many more visitors into the country. I think this is a sign that China is showing it's open for business, that it's wanting to open up not just for leisure, but also for business. And it has a major part to play in the world travel economy. Tourism GDP accounts for pretty well 10 to 12% of global GDP overall. And China needs to play a part in that. With a strong Chinese travel and tourism economy, it has a major impact on the number of jobs employed all over the world by airlines, by hotels, and others in the sector. So we need a strong China to be playing a strong part within those travel and tourism revenues coming in.
And as you say, showing signs that China is opening up, do you think these new visa-free arrangements will help international relations?
That's clearly the aim, and China wouldn't be doing this if they hadn't seen some success from the original list of countries that came in. I think it's interesting they're adding Belgium in particular on this list today, just announced, because obviously that opens up employees in the European Parliament and the European Commission, many of whom are based in Brussels, in Belgium. And I think it's interesting they're specifically opening up that country to enable visa-free access. But yeah, this is clearly something that is starting to work. It's not only bringing in more tourists into China itself, but it's also trying to ensure that other countries are themselves opening up to China. And I think we will see more of that as China embarks on a charm offensive globally.
Well, as you say, part of this is about encouraging more Chinese tourists to travel overseas, perhaps spend money there. How important are Chinese tourists to these countries?
Chinese tourists are hugely important. Pre-COVID, as more Chinese were traveling and more Chinese flights were started out of China into major European hubs like Heathrow, like Paris, like Frankfurt, then we saw a huge increase in the numbers of Chinese travelers. And it's the economic knock-on effects that are really important here. When a Chinese traveler enters a European country, maybe for shopping or for a vacation, then they're also helping to create jobs. The Chinese economy, the Chinese potential market is so vast that many more jobs in hotels and airlines and attractions, restaurants are created as a result of the strong Chinese consumer visiting other countries. So many European countries need Chinese travelers in order to be able to create many more jobs.
Paul, great to talk to you as always. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Paul Charles from the PC Agency.